if we look back in history, grappling is actually the oldest martial art. Grappling, wrestling, whatever you call it. Grappling and improvised weapons are the oldest form of martial art. Why do I say this? Well, there's very little historical evidence for boxing or pugilism, right? Being an official, like an actual thing, until about what? I would say the first Cretan frescoes depicting boxers, right? Two little dark slaves with big curly black mullets duking it out, probably for the entertainment of their masters. Now, when you think about it, the human hand is not meant to be a weapon. It's structurally kind of weak. The human fist, or the empty hand, is structurally weak. It's made out of a bunch of little delicate bones. Even if a man is big and has, really hard, thick bones, well-weathered hands that have been trained and used to be weapons. Boxing, or pugilism itself, is not, chronologically speaking, the oldest martial art. Wrestling has more direct application in a combat situation for armored men who may be tired or have lost their weapons, right? Sorry, I'm smoking here. Nevertheless, striking, is a useful tool, especially because someone who's good with boxing can apply a striker's mindset to improvised weapons, to anything he picks up, a chair. You can pick up a table and use it as a shield, right? You can use a shot glass, a beer glass, a beer mug or something, as a club, or as a throwable object, breakable object. You can rake a guy with the busted glass. I don't have to tell you UK guys anything about the effectiveness of that, right? No, striking is useful because pankration, right? The earliest form of mixed martial arts that we know of in Europe, anyway. It may have been a ritual type of combat. It might have been a display type of combat. But definitely, this, pankration is easily lethal because there's a wider range of tools. Even though these guys are technically unarmed, right? So, one more little thing I'd like to add about that is that, the bare knuckle guys are correct in that, you should obviously train to not depend on gloves. Kickers often do not train with street shoes or boots or what they'd be wearing in an encounter, right? Taekwondo guys are a good example of this. The only martial art that I've ever encountered that considered, what a man might be wearing on his feet as opposed to his hands would be savate, right? Or boxe française, But in general, striking with the hands, or your elbows or knees, you're not wearing anything over those, nothing at all. To give you that advantage. But even the most grug-brained guy who has a roll of quarters or a little rock in his pocket and decides to use that as a fortifying tool, right, to give a punch or punching a little bit of an edge, well then, again, this is where we just get into the general psychology of weapons, right? Anyhow, yeah, once again, I'm rambling like mad, and take what you can get out of this.